Hi guys, welcome back again sa ating YouTube channel, Daction Man. Una sa lahat, mega love shoutout po sa lahat ng mga kakamping at sa mga hindi man mga kakamping. Update po tayo about sa Percy Lapid case. Ang inyo po maririnig na audio ay galing po yan sa Department of Justice kanina sa press conference nila about dito sa kaso ni Percy Lapid at kung sino nga ba ang kakasuhan. At syempre, isa na po natin na inaabangan ang pangalan ni General Bantag. Ang mga tao na involved dito ay kakasuhan nila ng murder charges. So wag na po natin papatagalin mga ka-action, mga kakampeng. Pakinggan na po natin ang audio.
Welcome to the joint press conference of the Department of Justice, the Department of Interior Local Government, the National Bureau of Investigation, and the Philippine National Police. My name is Yusek Marge Gutierrez from the DILG, and together with ASEC Miko Clavano, we will be moderating this press conference. So I would like to acknowledge the presence of the officials who are here with us today. We have DOJ Secretary Jesus Crispin Boying C. Remulla, of course, my boss, DILG Secretary Benjamin Benhar C. Abalos, NBI Director Medardo G. De Lemos, Chief PNP General Rodolfo S. Azurin Jr. We also have General Janelle Estomo, Police Brigadier General Kirby John Kraft, and Police Colonel Jaime Santos. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of the other undersecretaries and assistant secretaries here with us today. We have Yusek Lord Villanueva, Yusek Nicholas T, Yusek Raul Vasquez, and also ASEC Arthur Malvar. So we may now hear the opening statement of Secretary Remulla. Thank you.
I actually have no opening statement for today. I just want to go through with this. I think we've filed the case already. The case has been filed with our prosecutors, and from there we will proceed with the case proper. And hopefully, this issue will be laid to rest the way that it should be when a crime is committed against a citizen of the Republic of the Philippines, and especially this time, we're talking about a member of media who was felled by an assassin's bullets last October 3, or a little more than a month ago. So I'd like to give the floor to Secretary Abalos.
Unang-una, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat at sa lahat po ng mga nakikinig. Alam niyo, ito'y makasaysayang araw. At gusto kong pasalamatan ng kagawaran ng opisina ni Secretary Remulla, ng mga NBI, and of course ng Philippine National Police. Siguro iilan lamang ito sa iilang kaso na kung saan talagang nagtulungan ang NBI at ang PNP para talagang resolbahin ang kasong ito. Ito po'y pinag-aralan maigi. Lahat ng mga testigong dapat kausapin, kinausap. At on the record, I will say that this is one of the fastest nung surrender itong gunman. I think it's less than 2 weeks nung siya'y sumurrender dahil nga siya'y natakot sa buhay niya dahil doon sa cash reward na in-offer natin. From then on, ang daming nangyari. Pero isang pinangako natin ng ating Pangulo na ito'y mariresolba at yung po ang gagawin ngayon. So mamaya po, sabihin na lang po sa press conference, inanarate po ito ng ating spokesperson dito. Yun na po ang magiging statement namin. At bilang panghuli, kami po muli ay nakikiramay sa pamilyang mabasa tungkol dito. At sa ating mga kababayan na nakikinig kayo, umasa kayo sa mga susunod pa o kung may problema kayo, huwag kayong mag-alala. Andito ang Philippine National Police. Andito ang National Bureau of Investigation. Ang DOJ, ang DILG, sama-sama po tayo parati. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat.
Thank you for that, Secretary Boying and Secretary Benhar. Now to read the official joint statement, may I call Attorney Eugene Javier of the NBI to read. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Allow me to Sir. Good morning, everyone. Allow me to deliver a brief, not so brief statement. From the very beginning, the tragic shooting of Percy Lapid indicated that it was part of a larger scheme stemming from a deeper motive. As will be described and detailed in this report, what was discovered from the in-depth investigation of Mr. Lapid's death was the unfortunate transformation of a pillar of justice, the correction pillar, into a deep, large-scale, and systematic criminal organization. Thus, this presentation will show that a criminal organization exists and is embedded within a government office, and that office is none other than the Bureau of Corrections, which controls what the United Nations Office on Crime and Drugs describes as the biggest mega prison in the world. Percival Caragbabasa was born on March 14, 1959. He is better known as Percy Lapid. Mr. Lapid was a journalist by profession and known for his hard-hitting and straightforward style. On October 3, 2022, at 8:30 p.m., Mr. Lapid was shot and killed on Arias Street, Santa Cecilia Village in Las Piñas City. He was driving his black Toyota Innova from his house to the studio when two persons riding a motorcycle in tandem situated themselves beside his car and fired 3 bullets, causing his instantaneous death. The two persons then fled towards Alabang Zapote Road. On October 6, 2022, Secretary Benhur Avalos offered a reward of 500,000 pesos for anyone who would provide crucial information that would lead to the arrest of Mr. Lapid's killers. Alex Lopez then vowed to give another 1 million pesos as reward money. On October 9, 2022, Speaker Martin Romualdez announced that several congressmen jointly contributed 5 million pesos to the reward, which then stood at 6,500,000 pesos. Several pictures of the gunman were published by media and online, and the manhunt began. It was on October 17, 2022, that the gunman, by the name of Joel Escorial, surrendered to the police as he feared for his life, given the reward out and the publicity of the case. He surrendered himself together with a gun that he used to kill Mr. Lapid. After a ballistics analysis was performed, it was determined that indeed it was the same gun that was used in the killing. After questioning, Joel Escorial revealed that a certain June Villamor had contacted and contracted him to execute the orders to kill Percy Lapid. He revealed that there was one person from the New Bilibid Prison, or NBP, and another from the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, BJMP, as part of the conspiracy to kill Percy Lapid. In an effort to secure June Villamor within the NBP, the investigators requested NBP, but instead faced resistance, subterfuge, excuses, and all kinds of rebuffs so that NBP officials could avoid the delivery of the inmate to their custody. In fact, on October 17, 2022, the PNP already communicated with certain Bucor officials to secure the co-conspirator to their custody. The Bucor officials denied that there was anyone by that name within their facility. On October 18, 2022, the PNP filed charges against Joel Escorial and other co-conspirators, including June Villamor, making the existence of the co-conspirator a public record. Still, the Bucor remained silent. Later that same day, the chief of the Southern District Police Station of Las Piñas, Police Colonel Jimmy Santos, who heads the Special Investigation Task Group for the Percy Lapid slay, proceeded to NBP to secure the co-conspirator. Again, he was met with much resistance, despite the information already having been made public. The receiving Bucor officials hesitated to even touch the request letter, indicating that they would be killed if they entertained such a request. They stamped the request letter and handed back the original copy. Police Colonel Santos knew at that moment they would not act at all on that request. On October 19, 2022, Another team from the PNP requested for the custody of the co-conspirator within NBP, and the same was again denied. It was only on October 20th, 2022, that Bucor officials admitted that the inmate pointed to by Joel Escorial, namely John Villamor, was already dead. Police Colonel Jimmy Santos then proceeded to Eastern Funeral Services to find the body of the co-conspirator. He took a picture of the remains and sent the same to those police in custody of Joel Escorial. Joel then identified and validated that the person was indeed June Villamor, the person who had given him instructions to kill Percy Lapid. This sequence of events implies that the conspirators planned all along to silence June Villamor and cover up the crime, perhaps even before Joel Escorial's surrender. It was after this revelation that the President of the Republic, Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., gave his order to Secretary Remulla to preventively suspend Director General Gerald Bantag while there was an ongoing investigation. This came after the President was appraised of the situation and made fully aware of the facts revolving around the death of the journalist. He then instructed for General Gregorio Pio Catapang Jr. to be designated as Acting Director General of the Bureau of Corrections. When the order of the President was effected on October 21, 2022, and Director General Bantag was suspended, and General Catapang Jr. stepped in on October 24, 2022, the latter immediately suspended all of Director General Bantag's people. It was found that DG Bantag's people were from BJMP. They were absorbed from BJMP into Bucor and were given very high ranks despite their low ranks in BJMP. This violates Item 15 of Civil Service Commission Memorandum Circular Number 3, Series of 2001, which prohibits the promotion of an employee to a position more than 3 salary grades above his or her former position. On the very same day, the sister of the deceased co-conspirator, June Villamor, surfaced and sought help from Senator Raffy Tulfo. Since the senator was in Geneva at this time, it was his brother, Secretary Erwin Tulfo, who took custody of the sister and brought her to the Department of Justice for her to share the information that she had. Upon arrival at the department, she met with Secretary Remulla to share Facebook Messenger messages she exchanged with her deceased brother before he died. She showed messages sent to her at exactly 11:59 a.m. of October 18, 2022. In those messages, it was revealed to her by her deceased brother that if he were to die, the following gangs and persons would be behind it: Commander Alvin Labra of the Batang City Jail Gang, Commander Alfie Peña Redonda of the Happy Go Lucky Gang, and Commander Aldrin Galicia of Sputnik Gang. This declaration may be considered as a dying declaration of the late June Villamor. The most relevant portion of the exchange reads, and I quote, "Te, ingatan mo itong sasabihin ko. Ilabas mo lang ito pag namatay ako dito. Kailangan walang makaalam nito hanggat buhay pa ako. Pag nawala ako, iparating kay Joel na ang sugo tulo na Commander Didi, Sputnik, Happy Go Lucky at BCJ. Tikang sa opisina ang sugo sa era, Commander Aldrin, Commander Labra, Commander Alfie. Basta ingatan mo yan na walang makakaalam hanggat buhay pa ako. Ayaw na damo pangutana." End quote. Translated to Tagalog, it reads, "Te, ingatan mo itong sasabihin ko, ilabas mo lang ito pag namatay ako dito. Kailangan mo lang makakaalam nito hanggat buhay pa ako. Pag nawala ako, iparating mo kila Joel ng utos nang galing sa commander ng Sputnik, Happy Go Lucky at BCJ. Galing ang utos sa opisina at inutos sila Commander Aldrin, Commander Labra at Commander Alfie." End quote. This was a major breakthrough in the case. Secretary Remulla then caused and instructed Acting Director General Catapang Jr. to transfer the custody of those mentioned in the Facebook chat to the custody of the National Bureau of Investigation for further questioning and investigation. So, the 3 commanders mentioned in the dying declaration, plus 1 more suspect named by a confidential informant, were transferred. There, they revealed all. The relevant information is within the hands of the NBI and the PNP. Thus, Through the unique concerted efforts of the National Bureau of Investigation and the Philippine National Police, with guidance from the Department of Justice and Department of Interior and Local Government, a thorough and candid investigation was conducted jointly. As a result, the NBI and PNP have filed 2 murder charges today. The charges are as follows. First, for the murder of Percival Carag Mabasa, better known as Percy Lapid, we have charged Director General Gerald Kitaleg Bantag, DSO Ricardo Soriano Zulueta as principals by inducement. PDL's Denver Batumbakal Mayores, Alvin Cornista Labra, Alvin Micosa Galicia, and Alfie Peña Redonda are likewise charged as principals by indispensable cooperation for the murder of Percy Lapid. Second, for murder of Cristito Villamor Palanya, alias June Villamor E. Globa, or Crisanto Villamor, nickname Edoy, we have charged Director General Gerald Kitaleg Bantag and DSO Ricardo Soriano Zulueta as principals by inducement. PDL's Alvin Cornista Labra, Alvin Micosa Galicia, Mario Hermones Alvarez, and Joseph Medel Jorfo are charged as principals by indispensable cooperation. PDL's Christian Dizon Ramak, Ricky Lamigo Salgado, Rodi Pabustan de la Cruz, and Joel Alog Reyes are charged as principals by direct participation. It was found through the investigation that both Director General Gerald Bantag and DSO Ricardo Zulueta were behind the killing of both Percy Lapid and June Villamor. The sworn statements of the PDL show a clear and direct line of communication from Director General and DSO Zulueta to Denver Mayores, who communicate with Alvin Labra, who then coordinated with Alvin Galicia, who then orchestrated and executed the killing of Percy Lapid through his gang members and his gang members' contacts on the outside, ultimately ending with gunman Joel Escorial and his group. With respect to June Villamor, the same sworn statements of the PDLs show a similar clear and direct line of communication from the Director General and DSO Ricardo Zulueta to Denver Mayores, who communicated with Alvin Labra and then coordinated the same with Alvin Galicia, who then orchestrated and executed the killing of June Villamor through his gang members. This time, June Villamor was suffocated to death by a plastic bag and held by his own gang members. This unique circumstance shows that the order came from a high official of the Bucor. One usually seeks refuge and protection from his own gang members. The fact that they killed one of their own means and indicates that there were instructions from the top and the gang simply had no choice but to execute. Director General Bantag had a clear motive to effect the murders. For Percy Lapid, it was continued expose by the latter of the issues against the former on his show, Lapid Fire. This is evident from the video sent by DSO Zulueta to Denver Mayores, which was later forwarded to both Alvin Labra and Aldrin Galicia. For June Villamor, it was the attempt to cover up the murder of Percy Lapid. We have initial yet credible intelligence reports that indicate that the money trails described by the PDLs match the bank activity of those charged. The self-confessed gunman stated that the reward for the murder of Percy Lapid was 550,000 pesos. According to the credible intelligence reports, within the period of September 15, 2022 and October 7, 2022, there were indeed cash deposits totaling the amount of 550,000 pesos. In sum, all the statements given by the PDLs and gunman Joel Escorial, coupled with evidence, corroborate as to the material facts needed to prove the 2 counts of murder. All departments and agencies involved in this case extend their heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims in these 2 cases. No amount of cases filed will bring their loved ones back to this world. However, the unfortunate deaths of both Percy Lapid and June Villamor will not go in vain. The investigation has brought to light the institutionalization of a criminal organization within the government. This will be the cause of many reforms in government and the strengthening of current mechanisms to ensure that nothing of this nature will ever happen again. This concerted
So yun na mga ka-action, mga kakamping noon, narinig na po natin ang lahat ng statement ng Department of Justice. So ano naman kaya ang masasabi ng mga supporters nito ni General Bantag? Ano naman kaya ang gagawing depensa ng kanilang mga supporters nito? So malinaw na po sa atin mga ka-action, mga kakamping kung sino ang involved sa kasong ito. Kaya dapat lang na pagbayaran nila at pagdusahan nila ang ginawa nilang kasalanan. So yun lang mga ka-action, mga kakamping. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.